game week, Richard.
Why do you look so surprised? It's coming. Let's go.
I'm excited. I really – do you know something that I found out over the past 24 hours or so? This is a good discussion topic.
Okay.
This is one of the toughest Steeler tickets in a while. This is as tough as Vegas as an away game, Atlanta.
I didn't know that.
And I started kind of asking around a little bit. Why? Why is this such a tough ticket?
Yeah.
One, people have that pent-up aggression that they've waited all year or whatever.
Yep.
Two, a brand new team, new quarterback, all that kind of thing.
Quarterback on both sides of the ball.
Correct. But in terms of Steeler fans wanting to get there and all that, they'll take over that place. They did last time the Steelers were Atlanta. Here's why. If you put a dot in Atlanta and draw a circle around it and go out about 6 hours, there's a ton of misplaced and displaced Pittsburghers that migrated to cities, places like Charlotte, places in Florida, places outside Atlanta, in Georgia and whatever. People who were born in Western Pennsylvania and moved to places, and particularly in the Carolinas, and it's a drivable game. And that's what makes it such a tough ticket for it's an away game for the Steelers, but essentially a home game for people who were born and raised in Western Pennsylvania and live down there now.
Okay, that's an interesting factoid. However, I also thought, when you said that to me, I also thought, okay, so on the Atlanta side, you have Arthur Smith, who was the head coach in Atlanta. So, and I think he was liked there, right? So
till the end. They all are till the end.
Yeah. Great point. But I think he was liked there, and I think the fan base liked him until they didn't, like you said. So it's a homecoming for them to see him, and maybe that's even a love-hate. They want to see him get beat. I don't know. But so you have him. You have two brand new quarterbacks. You have the first game of the year. I think we've all been football deprived for a long time, and we're ready for the season to start. So, but I really understand what you're saying. And I just, yesterday when Mike Tomlin had his press conference, I think the greatest quote about Russell Wilson is that he could throw the long ball and drop it in your left front. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I think there's a lot of complimentary things being said about Russell Wilson, and it's not necessarily met with apprehension, but I think that there's a kind of a prove me quotient on both sides. Like, the fans want to see it, and I think Russell Wilson, it's obvious that he appreciates this new start with a new team. And
oh yeah,
I mean, it's very obvious. It's very obvious how happy he seems to be.
I think Russell Wilson has wanted to work for Mike Tomlin for a very long time.
I would agree with that.
And I think that I also don't believe there was ever a quarterback controversy. I don't believe there was ever one. I believe the only thing that might have enhanced that conversation was the fact that Russell was hurt. And so he didn't really get a lot of playing time with the calf injury. But I don't think there was ever any doubt that Russell Wilson was going to be the starter. No.
I agree to that. I like I said, I think they're on two different time frames, and I'm all right with that. I think you have a senior quarterback and a freshman quarterback.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we know what Russell Wilson's capable of. I'm not sure we know what Justin Fields is truly capable of. We see flashes of it, and yeah, and we like it, we think, but we haven't seen enough of it. So, but Russell, we know what he's capable of. And I can't wait to see him perform. I just really can't. I think Russell Wilson is a gentleman. I think he embodies all the great things and qualities a Pittsburgh Steelers should. I'm more concerned about what happens next year with Russell Wilson.
Well, I want to see this year first. The thing I'm most excited about is this. There's no soft launch or no acclimation period. He's an NFL quarterback. And that was always the concern with Kenny Pickett. Well, how's he going to react? And there were so many, this is his first time. This is his first time getting hit. This is his first time throwing an interception. This is his first time with a 2-interception game. There's none of that. It's just a guy in a different uniform that's done
100%.
everything in the NFL.
100%. I think I read an article about Ben Roethlisberger, and I think Ben really is a fan of Russell's also. I saw something he said on his podcast, Football,
Hmm.
which is a pretty cool podcast, by the way. Um, Not as cool as ours though.
No.
But yeah, I think Ben really is a fan of Russell Wilson, and I think everybody's in the city's behind him. So I'm really excited, really excited.
What is your running back split if both are healthy? And Jalen Warren's dealing with a little injury. Towards the end of last year, I thought Mike Tomlin has bought into kind of using two guys, or even the middle part of last year, I should say. Then Najee sort of made a resurgence. He looked really good at some games toward the end of last year. And I just still think Mike Tomlin needs to talk himself back into using two backs a lot.
Oh, I think that's the answer, and I think he already has. And so playing time is distributed, the distribution of labor, as Mike calls it, really, I think is dependent on the production by game. I think that if Najee's having a tough game, I think you're going to see Jalen Warren. If Jalen's shut down, I think you're going to see Najee bulling forward. And don't forget CP.
Yeah. I have thought that Mike Tomlin should use a strategy, not to tell Mike Tomlin how to coach, but we all do. I thought the first three quarters of a lot of games, or at least the first half, should be used as an audition to who gets the football in crunch time.
And I think that's what you're going to see. I think that's what you're going to see because, and also, I really like the conditioning that I see in Najee right now. I think he's faster. I think you're going to see a different Najee, and remember, he's playing for a contract
Here or somewhere else, absolutely.
here or someone else, and man, there's nothing like money to be a motivator like that because it's the rest of his life. Like he can set himself up for the rest of his life, and I think he knows that. He came to camp prepared, which I love seeing. And I think you're going to see a Najee this year that's really going to be a difference maker. Jalen Warren does also, but I think that guy just doesn't go down. And then
Right.
as far as CP, I mean, what he's capable of. We need one more good year out of him, right?
Yeah, and I think here's the other part. What he's going to give you on kickoffs and what he's going to give you at different times if he's that kickoff guy.
Yep.
With these new rules, it could serve to be really, really exciting. And a change of pace, too. Like we saw it in the preseason games.
Yeah.
You go in and it's somebody and you're worn down as a defense. You're beat up a little bit from the first two guys. And then here comes somebody that can move around and go at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And that
and who's comfortable with the coach because he's played for him. He knows the expectation. He knows what to prepare for, and you saw it. And he wants to play also. So I think you're going to have a really good Pittsburgh Steelers team. I'm excited to see it. The coaching, I love the new coaches. I'm all in. I really am.
I actually, and I don't know. I'll just make my pick now. I guess I don't know, but I think they're going to demolish Atlanta. I mean,
I don't think I've ever heard you say that.
No, I don't know why I feel so confident in this, but I think it's going to be. I think they're going to get on a roll. They're going to start rolling. I think people are going to be stunned. Well, maybe not as to how pro Pittsburgh that building is. It's going to hold the sound. It's going to be super loud. It's going to be a Steelers home crowd. It's going to get rolling. I think the Steelers are going to win by like 2.5 or 3 touchdowns. I think they're going to kill Atlanta.
Do you really?
I really do.
Line.
There's no real like magic potion or there's no real like true reason. It's I just number one, their defense is Steelers defense is much better than Atlanta's offense. And I think Arthur Smith is the kind of guy that he doesn't need to. If you ask him what time it is, he just tells you what time it is. He doesn't give you directions how to build a watch like Matt Canada did. And if something's working, I feel like he's just going to keep hammering it. He doesn't need to. Okay, he doesn't need to bring a crayon box full of 64 crayons when he can just use 8 to win a game. And I feel like he's going to do that, and Matt Canada didn't do that. Matt Canada always tried to show you how smart he was. Arthur Smith is at the point in his career he just wants to win.
Yeah, and I'll just tell you that I think they really want to make a statement. I remember last year I spoke, and this is no insider information, of course. You know that Omar Khan and I are friendly and friends. And just in an offhanded conversation, he just simply said, we just need to be able to score points, and we're not doing that. And And by that, to me, they need to score more than 16 points a game, right? And I think they're going to punctuate that by doing exactly what you said. I think that if they put their foot on the gas, they're not taking it off. They're going to score points. They need to do that for themselves as much as anybody else. They need to believe that they can do that. And I think that this first game will really set the tone for the next three.
I think they're going to win like 28-10 or something.
What
And
what
they're
is the
just,
line? What's the official
I
line?
didn't even see. I haven't even, I'll be honest with you, I haven't even looked at it. I think they're going to run, though, for a ton of yards
Yeah, I
in
do
this
too.
game
I do too.
and get one big, like, special teams play or one big pass play, and that's all it's going to take.
So
I think they're going to run for a gazillion yards.
yeah, I do too. I think, we've made the improvements in the areas that have been glaring to us that we sit here and Monday morning quarterback all the time is down to the special teams, to the punter. I love our punter. Presley Harvin, I don't even know why. He must have had like relatives in the organization that kept him. I don't know.
I didn't mind them taking him. I minded them keeping him around so long.
Oh, horrible. And that
Yes.
was like another Matt Canada. So Matt Canada's gone. Punter's changed. Defense has changed. Um, Man, I just think that they're all improved in all three phases of the game. I'm excited, Colin.
I'm super excited. I
I wish
really
the
am for
first
this
game
game.
were at home.
I don't. I like it. I like. We've gotten accustomed to starting on the road. The Steelers have, because they seemingly always do. I kind of like the soft launch for Russell Wilson because he kind of gets a taste and an appetizer of a Steeler crowd away, and then a big boom at home. I don't mind it. I like it.
The only thing I'm not sure I agree with, because I don't know, is that it's going to be that big of a Steeler turnout.
I've been saying this, and there's some people that are just like you, like, I don't know. When you turn on your TV Sunday, it's going to stun you. It's going to absolutely shock you how many Steelers
it's a variable
fans.
that I really never even considered, so I will be stunned.
It's going to be like those Arizona games, going to be because it's indoors, so it's going to be loud. When they show that first shot, that panoramic shot, and they go from like the roof and around, you're going to be stunned at how many terrible towels and how many Steeler fans have made their way into this building. I promise you, it's the one piece that crowds don't win or lose games really, but people are going to be shocked at how many Steeler fans make their way in there.
I would be shocked. I am going to be shocked, but it's because I've never really considered that. So I think it's going to be great. I'm excited to see it. I say my pick is the same as yours. Pittsburgh Steelers big. I don't know how big, but I'm going to tell you, I don't think the Steelers should be happy if they score less than 30 points.
I think they'll score 28, 28-10. So you're asking for 30. I think that's a bit much, but I don't mind it. We'll see.
I don't know that it's a bit much. I think that if we find that we're going to pound them, we're going to pound them on the ground. You're right, and it's going to be pound. We're going to pound them on the ground enough to be able to set up Russell with the deep ball. Pickens is going to be a superstar this game. There's too many weapons in our arsenal. Too many. I'm telling you, 30. Think about it's 4 touchdowns. That's 4 touchdowns and a field goal. Come on.
I know it
31
shouldn't be
points.
much. It shouldn't be
It's
too much
not.
to ask.
It's not asking a lot. It's not. We got all this talent, man. Let's freaking go. I'm so psyched.
I am too. I'm excited for this season. I really am.
Yeah, like don't bother me on Sunday. I'll text you, of course, but
certainly.
Anybody else, don't bother me. But I'm really jazzed. I really am.
So I say 28-10. You say a disappointment if they don't score 30. So there's our pick.
And so I'm going to say 31-14.
Gotcha. All right. We're
31-14. I'm going to write that down. 31-14.
I say 28-10.
Okay. Let's see who wins.
Talk to you next week.
And out.
My man.
Thank you. Bye.